Don't ever modify a Lamborghini without knowing a few things. I'm gonna share some of the things I've learned over the years of modifying many of your and my favorite brand of supercar. Now, first of all, right here is my all-time favorite 2003 Lamborghini factory gated Murcielago, or we say it like this, Murcielago. Now, while this is my favorite all-time Lamborghini, there is one caveat to that. I actually had a factory gated LP Murcielago before I had this non-LP Murcielago. I'm not gonna get into the whole story, but the short version is it was in for some service, it was getting the transmission, some new synchros and stuff put in it, basically rebuilt, and upon the final test drive, unfortunately, it met its demise and was crashed into a pole and a fire hydrant. Now, I wasn't driving when that happened. If you wanna know the full story, you can go and check out the video. I put a link in the description to the original video, but let's just skip to the good stuff. So, I end up finding myself a pre-LP factory gated Murcielago. Why? Well, because the LP cars had already gotten to a point where they were $1 million+, which is one of the reasons why I bought my LP car. After insurance and a bunch of costs and things I didn't see kind of coming from that accident, I couldn't afford an LP car. I could only afford the pre-LP car, and that didn't really matter. Why? Well, because I thought I could get pretty much all the same things I loved about the LP car and a non-LP car, and I was gonna highly modify this car. I wanted to do this. What you're looking at is the Reverting Engineering, which is a German company that was tasked with making Lamborghinis race Murcielagos, and they only made 11 of them. One of those was one-of-one street driven, and the rest were completely modified for race or track use only, which meant finding these parts to actually get this kit was extremely difficult, and it took all of 5 years to do it, and many people helping me source the parts. Big shout out to my boy Dean, because at the end of the day, he pretty much found me this entire front end from several different places over in Europe. So this kit, hard to find, but there are some things on the pre-LP car that the LP car had, and you couldn't even get it as an option from Lamborghini. And one of those things happens to be right behind here. So let's not use this side, let's use this side where my good buddy David is. David, what did this car not come with and you couldn't even get it until it was an LP model?
Ceramic brakes.
Correct, sir. Ding, ding, ding. You have won the prize. What are the numbers?
Did you know how many Mercies they made in total, including pre-LP and LP?
4,000.
4,100.
4,100.
Of that, guess how many were LPs in general? Roadster and Coupe LPs made.
I think there were like 800.
1,700.
1,700.
So really, there's like 3,000 pre-LPs. That's a very rare car.
Yes.
And you modified yours. You have big balls.
Yes, I did.
And we're doing more modifications right now.
So what did you go ahead and do? Because I said, hey, I want ceramic brakes. Let's find some LP brakes and put them on here. And you said, I'm gonna do you one better.
Yeah, so there's a company, which I'll reveal in a minute in this video, that actually made them for this car as a prototype. I shipped them your steel brakes all the way across the country, and they made you a one-off set that they will sell very soon. But we're gonna test them out right now in this video. We're just waiting for UPS to get here because they're not here yet.
So you could get an LP brake and retrofit it on here. But because the LP is even rarer than the non-LP, those brakes are stupid expensive. And in fact, all of those brakes, even used, are just going this way in price. So the fact that we found someone who could custom make ceramic brakes for the pre-LP car, and they're actually gonna fit and work a lot better because this car is a little different from the chassis even than an LP car. Now, still a carbon bodied car, and still the amazing love that you know, which is the V12. However, the V12 is different in the back of this car. It is not the 6.5, it is a 6.2 liter.
I didn't know that. They're very rare. I really regret selling mine, but we still have one.
Oh, that's right, you had one.
Dude, I sold it for nothing.
Sold it for nothing.
Like 200 US, and now they've basically doubled. However, I would say if you're watching right now and you're a betting person, I would go and buy Murcielagos. LP, pre-LP, doesn't matter. Buy them, put them in your garage. 10 years from now, these are all $1 million
Double,
cars.
triple,
oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Like,
so
it's happening.
This one, steel brakes, they're okay, but guess what steel brakes produce? A lot of brake dust, and that makes these beautiful AL13 wheels really gross after, honestly, about a day of driving. That's one benefit. The other benefit is, honestly, it's better braking power. So this is gonna get a big upgrade. Plus, something right past the brakes that we just upgraded are the coilovers. Now, we did it kind of by default for one major reason. This car was actually leaking from one of the shocks. This car actually has a factory front lift system, so there's very few people that make an aftermarket coilover kit for this car that also includes a lift system. So we ended up reaching out to Penske.
Penske builds one. So the Murcielago is very unique in the fact that you actually have 6 coilovers and not 4. So a lot of companies won't make them. A few of our partners talked about it, but again, there's 4,000 of them. Most owners aren't going to change suspension. Makes them rare and really expensive.
So here's the old factory suspension. This stuff, this one right here actually looks like the one that's leaking.
Bro, you could not have planned this better.
There you go. That's actually probably got
that is?
that's the front lift system.
Yeah.
But which one's the one that's blown? One of them was blown.
You can tell,
was it a front or rear? I think it was a front.
So you can see it right there on the side. All that grease, that's what leaks into the dirt attaches to it. What's crazy on this car is most lifts are using an air compressor. So a Gallardo, SVJ and all that is compressed air it uses, but the Mercy uses the power steering fluid for your lift system. It's all connected.
That's actually crazy. We've completely replaced the coilover system. This has more of a race style setup, which is cool because the whole concept of my GT1 street car is that it's a race car on the street, but it was converted from a street car. So we have the full wide body kit. We have a lot of the upgrades as far as the looks, but we didn't have the performance of a race car yet, other than the fact that I do run this car, and even Tanner, who's the man of the hour here helping with the suspension and the alignment, noticed, he said, hey, it's really cool that you actually run what looks like a race car on the road with race tires. So these are the Hoosier R7s. And this funny little dotted line is the only thing that makes this DOT approved. That is supposed to be my grooves for if I hit some water.
You'll be good, man.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
Good luck.
That one there too?
Just speed up, right?
Have you hit water in this yet?
I drove it one day in a little drizzle of rain, and honestly, it was the most terrifying thing ever. Okay, so we have the racing slicks, but we needed the racing suspension. That's now in. These are highly, highly adjustable. In fact, Tanner was looking, how many way adjustable would you say these bad boys are?
They don't have reservoirs, but they're 2 ways. You got
Just
rebound and
69.
compression. Oh, but the clicker does go like 60, 70.
That's what he was saying. He was like,
It
it's
goes
like
pretty far.
60 freaking clicks of, and that was for the rebound?
That's the top of the shock, yeah.
Damn.
Yo, is that Ryan? Dude, this thing is sick, but what happened to the supercar?
I'm done with supercars, all luxury.
So what, you get a robe and a Rolls Royce and you think you're cool now?
Well, and I wash my face.
So you just started washing your face?
Yeah, I wasn't doing it right before, but now I'm doing it right with Manscaped. Park this for me. Check this out. If you want to experience luxury, you need the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit from Manscaped. It's men's skincare engineered for men, especially for those who want to look put together without spending 30 minutes in a mirror. You get everything you need to exfoliate, brighten, and moisturize. Plus, Manscaped throws in 2 free gifts, a 3-pack of lip balm and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag when you order the kit. The Face Buffer Pro Electric Face Scrubber. This is where the game changed. The Face Buffer Pro uses antibacterial silicone bristles and sonic vibrations to go deep, cleansing your pores, removing dead skin, and prepping your face for the next steps. Next up, the exfoliating face wash. While your skin's still damp, just work this in. This face wash has ceramides and AHAs, which means it exfoliates without stripping your skin. It's gentle but effective. Perfect if you've got dry patches, post-gym grind, or just want that smooth, clean finish. No parabens, dermatologist tested, none of that sketchy stuff. Now for the glow up step. The brightening serum has a triple vitamin C complex to fight dullness, fade uneven tone, and even calm the irritated post-shave skin. Then we follow up with the hydrating moisturizer. This stuff is light, fast absorbing, and packed with shea butter, ceramides, hyaluronic acid. Basically, it locks in the hydration without that greasy feel. And before I forget, the 2 free gifts. You get a 3-pack of ultra premium lip balm formulated with vitamin E, peppermint, eucalyptus oil to help seal in moisture and soothe lips. And this bag right here, the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag, durable, water resistant, and fits everything from this kit with room to spare. So there you go, 3 steps done in under 5 minutes. Skincare doesn't have to be complicated. You just need the right tools. Get the Skin Ultra Advanced Kit for 15% off with promo code DDE at manscaped.com. Use code DD at manscaped.com for 15% off and live a life of luxury.
So he just finished lowering this car a little bit more. We're trying to get the ride height dialed in. And then he's here to actually dial in the alignment for the car. Now we're still waiting for the brakes to show up. They say they're out for delivery, so they should be here sometime today. We can unbox those new beauties and then put them on the car tonight. We have our good friend Hugo coming to install them. And then this car is pretty much ready to hit the road. mobile setup. This is crazy. Freaking laser beams, man. So you're saying the back didn't change that much?
I'm checking it right now. The front didn't change very much. The back I'm expecting to change even less. So I don't
Copy that. So this car, being that I want it this low, and I know from experience from driving this car around before, this car doesn't really go anywhere without a lift system, which is why it was so important that we went with the Penske coilovers. Unfortunately, there is a different fitting. The hydraulic line now requires a banjo fitting to fit onto the new coilover to use that power steering fluid to then use the lift system. So we have that on its way, but that's why we got Hugo coming in tonight. He's gonna do the brakes, he's gonna finish off the banjo fitting, and then we should be technically, fingers crossed, good to go for that road trip I was talking about. In the meantime, car's gonna sit here. We'll do a test drive a little later, but let's go see where Dave's at, because I know we have a lot of Lamborghini projects on the go right now. For example, the Widebody Revolto is ready for paint, but I might have changed my mind about what color I want to do it. What?
No surprise.
One more still. I got one more still.
Oh,
More for us?
shit. You are the man, dog. Man, that timing is insane.
Triton Motorsports developed these. They make brakes for a bunch of applications, not just carbon, also steel brake options. BMWs, there'll be a link in the description of this video. They made these just for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Triton. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you.
No worries, man.
Appreciate you for getting that here today. You can do an unboxing right here.
Right here in the store. These are your custom brake pads, also developed by Triton.
Sick.
Sensors.
For the record, this took months. This is months in the making, months and months and months.
They have an engineer had to weigh and scan your brakes and then basically build a model for it and system to make sure it's safe. And then making carbon rotors is by itself takes months.
Yes. Ready for this? You ready?
I'm actually really excited.
I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I'm
first.
genuinely excited because this car is my baby. Out of all the, I love all the cars. Look, I love the SVJ and all the things that we've done with it all over the world.
If you had to only keep one.
If I had to keep only one car, if I was forced and tortured and waterboarded, and then my fingernails were ripped out, I don't know why I went that far with it, but it would be manual
Do you live in? That's
Murcielago.
Lamborghini.
I'm just saying.
You know? I want to see it first.
Oh, bro!
Dude, that's
sick.
There's no. I don't know, man.
Isaiah beat him up. Holy crap. Those are so freaking sick, dude.
Holy.
That's
crap.
huge.
Like literally nothing. Like literally nothing.
No, stop it.
So Triton Motorsports made this for us.
Dude, that
It is the real deal.
insane.
Even says Triton right there on it.
Dude, that is honestly really sick.
Like, I could not do that with a steel brake.
I'm actually surprised you can do that with that brake.
Oh, I gotta stop now.
These are honestly absolutely insane. We're gonna get them put on the car. We're gonna get that front lift hooked up, and the Murcielago is going to be back and better than ever and ready to rock and roll. It was stressful because the last little while, that blow-in shock was really starting to bottom out, and honestly, it's not what you want in that car. You want it to be dialed the hell in because already that car is a handful to be driving. So,
And here's what I'll say. I'll add this to the credit of this company. The factory LP640 ceramics are not great. These would be a massive improvement.
all right, so now we're just waiting for Hugo.
Hugo's gonna come and install those brakes and obviously the custom fittings for the front lift that were $800 for some reason.
Shut up, $800 for banjo fittings? The ride height looks good. Dude, this thing is slammed.
Don't forget to pick up some merch from the DDE Merch Garage. Get it before it's gone for good. Go to ddmerchgarage.com. That's ddmerchgarage.com.
And let's do a little drive on the block quickly and see how this thing feels with its new custom Penske suspension. Woo! Proper cold start. How's that turning radius look? That is tight. I would have to say that officially the Murcielago is freaking slammed. Let's drive it all the way back and give it a test. I wonder if I'm not supposed to be driving it. Oh shit.
I heard you from the building. Your power steering pump is the front lift. There's no line there right now, which means all our power steering fluid just drained out. Which is why we're pushing it around. Leave it alone. Sakes. I'm sitting in my office, I'm like, why is the Mercy running? I ran out here. I'll see you later, buddy.
Well, no one ever said I was smart. At least not when it comes to mechanical stuff. Every time I stopped, you could see where it pissed some more out.
Well, that's each side of the strut. So basically, put it on the side to add to the strut.
Okay, I made a bit of a mess.
Well, your tires are gonna be a little bit less traction. Just a little bit.
Yeah, nothing like having some power steering fluid on some slicks. All right. Again, so I did a thing.
No, we do the thing where you blame others, right?
It looks cool though, it's really low. Like, it is extremely freaking low. Holy shnikes.
Did you move the Mercy? There's food everywhere.
You can't move the Mercy, dude. Dave left, everybody left, I got all excited. I was vlogging, I was in the zone. All of a sudden I'm like, hey guys, we should see how the new suspension handles. Fire it up, get in it, can't see what's going on. Drive out, go forward, back up, and I see this trail of stuff, and Dave comes running out. Just as Dave goes, shut it off, I'm like, I know, I'm in the process. I'm just realizing that it's all still connected. I was
Hold
like,
on.
Oh my gosh.
The real reason why his name's Guy is you're the fall guy. So it's important that we blame you for all the mistakes.
Hugo said if you turn the wheel at all the fluid's gonna come out.
Go look from the garage to the out by the trailer. I have a hero. Who's my hero?
Ken Block.
Did Ken Block work on his car? No.
Here's the truth. If you enjoy working on cars, work on cars. If you don't, then don't. If you enjoy driving cars, then drive them. Do whatever you want. Just be happy. Life is short. It's too short to drive boring cars. So the backstory on this, yesterday, Hugo said, hey, I'm gonna install the coilovers for you. I said, thanks, man. He goes, you're welcome. And then he called me back. He's like, oh, by the way, there's a problem. The Murcielago has a different style fitting. So it's a banjo fitting on the new coilovers, but the Murcielago factory coilover was a threaded fitting, a different style fitting. An LAN, I believe, or LAN, if I don't get that wrong. So anyways, I guess the early model Murcielagos used that style, and like a year later they changed it, so we had to come up with a custom idea. And to get that banjo fitting, literally, how many people did we call today?
Like 40 to 50 different shops.
Yep. And I found one shop that did it. Now for these 4, they charged us $700. But they're high pressure hydraulic lines, and I guess I saw you walk in with that shirt and thought, damn, that shirt's on sale enough $20 at ddmerchgarage.com, I should grab one. And they charged the extra. That didn't make any sense, but just go with it on this one. So Hugo's on his way here, and we got the brand new ceramic brakes all ready to go. Yeah, bro. Actually, I have something else as well. I have my SLS rear calipers, so I can do my ceramic conversion and complete that on the SLS. Ceramics are over here waiting to go on the rear. Those are the stock fronts. I'm gonna need those for a special project. To be continued. All right, guys, good news. It fits. Guy, I drained all the fluid out, but you saved the day by getting a new line, so I thank you for that.
Hugo said it needed to be bleeded, so
Bled.
there you go. Bled, bleeded, bled.
You're with me on that one, bleeded. That's something I would say for sure. Bleeded. Let's play a little game. It's called The First Person Who Wants the Career Van GT that comes here and talks to a guy with $7,500 cash in hand takes it.
Hear that, guy?
I might come myself and give you some.
You gonna come yourself?
Yeah.
That's a good sign. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. A lot better. I don't know if Hugo knows this, but he has to do the brake still tonight. And the sun is setting.
You want to try swinging it around?
I will.
That way I can do the brakes.
Yeah, that's the exciting part. Woo! Feel bad we can't pay you.
It's got power steering again.
The real test is the lift, and I'm nervous right now. You ready? Yeah. Whoa, we need brakes first. Hold on. We need brakes first. Bring it in.
Right there, it used to bog a lot, remember? When we took it out for a drive.
It was the grounds.
Yeah. It could have been the grounds or the alarm system. He had a noise, I don't know if you heard it, coming from the speaker.
Yeah.
Ripped off an alarm thinking it was going to be the noise. Maybe it was cutting off, like in lit mode.
Oh.
Hey, the wheels are not torqued down fully yet. What? The wheels aren't fully torqued yet. Just
Do you know who this is? What are you expecting? A chill moment?
You need to move the van.
Run! By the way, back to the stock suspension. No more air ride.
Thank God.
It's so much better. It actually doesn't look terrible factory ride height.
You guys are selling it?
No, this van will never be sold. The other van's for sale. $7,500 cash, it's yours. I regret asking for that. You forget how loud that car is.
The next piece of the puzzle is the suspension and the brakes. That was it for basically what I wanted to do on this build, shy of eventually I would do a few engine tweaks, but nothing crazy. Like, it's reliable, so why mess with it for now?
Driving back home to Calgary and enjoy these cars in our Alberta soil. Why did we clean it first? That was a terrible idea.
If you guys watch the BTS channel, you'll know that Hugo and I spent many late evenings trying to figure out what was the issue. You found the issue. Let the audience know what it actually was in the end.
It had nothing to do with the battery, nothing to do with the wiring.
I disagree.
It's a tough one because there was two problems that we sorted out.
Right here, right here.
It's the problem in between the steering wheel and the driver's seat. That was the problem. Did you guys get that? I heard that joke a long time ago.
The problem was the alternator and the battery. Because now it's at 14 volts and the car runs good.
You remember the grounds? We'll finally strap down the grounds. Also, we ripped off an alarm because we were hearing noises.
Yeah, we thought that was an issue, but that was actually an issue with the fact that the grounds weren't on.
Yeah.
And it was killing the battery, and then the car was freaking out.
All right, do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Looks like Columbia in here. Now, factory steel brakes, they are large brakes in this car. They're a two-piece rotor design. You can just change the actual rotor part and leave that top hat, but DD, you're doing things big. We're doing things carbon, ceramic. Initial thoughts?
They're brakes.
So what's cool is you can reuse the factory calipers.
I'm not sure, and if you're watching, you have a pre-LP Murcielago, they'll be selling these. I'm not sure when. You'll have to go to the website and look. But they make brakes for a lot of applications. So if you're watching this right now and you've got a BMW or a bunch of stuff, pretty much anything, go check out their website. The prices are really good. Like if you have to change your R8 brakes, OEM's crazy. I originally found this company because I was looking for brakes for the R8, I think. And it was crazy. Messaged them saying you make carbon brakes, ceramic brakes for a Mercy. They said no, but we can. So we negotiated a little bit. The owner's super cool. This went on for months. And finally he's like, look, send me the steel brakes. We'll make you a pair just for you guys. And I just want to see Damon smile once again.
Whew. The old trust. We actually have a proper hanger for that.
Yes,
back in the day we used a coat hanger.
I don't know why, but upgrading your brakes is one of my favorite modifications. It looks cooler behind the wheel, and obviously there's performance benefits. It reminds me of my first time doing this was my 1994 Integra LS. I had an RS, finally made it big, bought the LS. And I did the AEM big brake kit. I used a factory caliper and had a bracket to extend it out. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And I know Damon's really pumped for this modification. I really wanted to have this done before he got here, but it wasn't ready. There were some issues with shipping. These brakes literally arrived today, as well as the old banjo fitting that took 2 days to locate.
They've probably been on there since the car was built in 2002, which is, by the way, 23 years ago. What year were you born?
96.
Oh, you're that old, hey?
Yeah.
Damn, never mind.
By the way, Hugo is a mobile mechanic and he fits everything to fix cars in his 370 or 350.
350Z.
Which means you can make excuses like, oh, I can't start my business until I have the right van, the right truck.
Yeah.
This guy does it and he crushes, he makes a lot of money, charges us, he rips us off every time, so.
So if you want to get ripped off, let me know.
Jokes aside, he gives a really good deal. In fact, we actually usually have to tell him to charge us more. Damn! You're kidding.
Yeah. She's on there good.
Here, hit it with this.
Oh, we don't need it. We don't need to. We don't need to.
What do you mean?
See, this guy, the rotor's held on by the studs themselves.
What?
Yeah, they kind of thread to the back of the hub there.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
They hit the Murcielago with a sledgehammer. Worked out so well for the last guy. This is a big moment. They had the factory brakes and they completely scanned them and measured them. But things are different when they're digital online than in person. You'll know that if you ever got a mail order bride in the 90s. Website says all these good things. They're not good. They're a whole new kind of bad. Miss you, Mom. All right.
Ready to come off?
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
You're beating the out of it for no reason.
And they were just off because they went there to get scanned, I realized. So they're off like 2 months ago. All right, this is a big moment. How nervous are you right now?
Oh, I'm not nervous at all.
Really?
Yeah.
A little arrogant.
Why would
you say arrogant?
No, confident. Confident. This is pretty much gonna be, like you said, the first time
Yeah, never been done.
Murcielago gets
We have a few of those, like the wheels in the SLS. And actually, it's happened a lot over the years of being the first to have something. I think sometimes we get so used to this that we stop appreciating it, but I really do appreciate the owner of this company saying, hey, I wanna, and put my trust into you guys and send you the first pair. All right, will it fit?
It does, however, I could already feel it needs a bit of trimming.
The rotor needs trimming?
Yeah, right?
So we noticed that the new brake is way bigger, way fatter. Like, just look at the actual thickness as well as the actual circumference. Obviously, it's engineered for the car, but we just had to think. The caliper clearing the wheels, if it changes the geometry and where it sits.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna clear.
It's gonna be all good?
Yeah.
LOA? Yeah. I like your mindset. It's just things you don't think about. Actually, I did the same thing on the SLS when I bought ceramics. I was like, is she gonna fit? But worst case, actually, we're not gonna talk about that right now. It's gonna fit perfectly and Damon's gonna smile once again.
Everybody's gonna smile.
All right, that's on there now. Now it's a caliper brake pad test. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Woo! Oh man.
We got a problem.
Yeah, a big one.
Yeah. So
explain how this works, because I'm curious too.
Yeah, show them where you go.
Well,
So first of all, if we put the new pads in, you were saying they don't even fit around the brake.
yeah, the thickness of the rotor itself is way bigger than OEM.
Yeah, we showed them obviously a minute ago. It's like a solid, I would say, half an inch thicker.
Yeah.
Which if you the right caliper, that's good.
And the rotor has been wearing down on the OEM, so that does make sense, but not to this extent to where fitting the OEM bracket caliper is extremely tight fit there. So like that amount of contact already is kind of alarming.
But more importantly, in the back right there,
That bolt doesn't even come close.
look at that. So that's making contact in the rotor, and look at that. We still have like
Almost an inch, like a 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
So either you need a bracket or a different caliper.
And you're already so far out with it making contact that if you start pushing it out more,
Yeah,
you're
it's not
just gonna run away from the actual rotor.
So even a bracket wouldn't do it. I need to contact the manufacturer. This is the first one they ever made, so something along the way.
This just does not fit size. The bracket for the caliper itself just needs to be custom made because this isn't gonna fit. We need different bolts and a bracket.
Well, here's the good news. Your suspension's done, alignment's done, the lift works. You can survive on steel brakes for this road trip. It's just disappointing because we waited so many months for this.
Yeah.
I messaged the owner of the company. Obviously, back east, it's late. Right now, it's 9 o'clock here, so it's probably midnight. So we probably won't find out now, but in the meantime, those come off
Back to steel brakes.
and back to steel brakes. I'm glad we didn't smash that with a hammer. On a positive note, let's check out your Penskes. Oh, look at those.
Those are cool.
Dude, it's cool there's two in the rear. Like, what a car.
Yeah, it is cool. I'm glad those fit, because that's the big issue we had.
Well, sometimes she goes and sometimes she doesn't. But the good news is suspension, no issues. It's dialed in thanks to Hugo. It runs properly now, has a brand new battery, a brand new alternator. It is ready for a road trip. It happens. We'll find out. We'll update you guys.
I saw this done once on YouTube! Well, we got some heat in the engine, and now got to give that new suspension a quick test ride. It's looking good. He put the back down a little bit more. The front is dialed in, I'm pretty sure, but we're about to find out because I got to take this thing down the road, and you guys are coming with me. So we're gonna make sure that we don't have any rubbing or anything like that when we're just driving down the road, hitting some of the bumps. Damn, I love this car. It looks absolutely insane. I do probably need to get rid of this. It's gonna be a little flashy red light for now because that was the active suspension where this module, you could adjust the dampening. New Penske coilover test ride. The new battery and alternator is making a huge difference in how this thing runs. You can see there where it says battery, now that it's up in the 14s for voltage, it's running really crisp, like sharp. And it's all based on voltage because the throttle bodies and everything. So let's just get this gate open and see how this puppy runs. Well, it feels good to be back behind the wheel of the Murcielago. My new lift. We'll throw that up. I think it's actually a bit higher than the original factory lift, which is good, because this car is low. Oh yeah. Woo! So far it feels good. I'm not hearing any rubbing. There's a dip here, and this is where I know from previously, this car does not make it over this dip without the lift up. Okay, lift down, and let's see how this thing drives. The new coilovers feel good. Like, it's firm, but it doesn't feel excessively bumpy or hard. In fact, it feels a lot like the Revolto. Oh, we got the tracks over here. We got the tracks right here. Let's see. Not bad, not bad. Check it out right here. Bump. Not bad. Chest bump. I'm not hearing anything bottoming out or any rubbing of the wheels. Well, that's a wrap for today. Ride height's dialed. We're gonna do a little fine tuning on obviously the dampening tomorrow. I just said bye to Hugo. He's gonna come back in the morning. Gonna be back to what you guys know and love about DDE. Loud Lamborghinis, road trips, shenanigans, and you never know what's gonna happen.